Hold on to your seats, Eastenders fans. The drama is about to explode. Nish Panesar is on the hunt. He suspects Suki's involvement in the Christmas murder, and he's not keeping quiet. The six are in full damage control mode, but can they handle the heat? Meanwhile, Jean Slater is drowning in guilt. She contacted social services about Tommy Moon, and now she's second-guessing her decision. At least she finds comfort with Kojo. But her relationship with Harvey? Complicated, to say the least. And just when you thought it couldn't get more intense, Martin Fowler faces a bombshell. The council's redevelopment plans could spell the end for the market. Can he save it in time? Amongst all the chaos, Kat and Alfie are trying to patch things up. Will their love story survive this storm? If you haven't seen Eastenders for a while, here's what's been happening. Last week saw Nish Panesar continue to wreak havoc on Suki's life as he remotely ordered Eve's mum to be mugged, causing Eve to leave Walford for Scotland to reunite with her parents. Suki planned to go with her, but Nish had also organised for their 3-year-old grandson Ty to arrive on Albert Square, and Suki stuck around to reunite with him. Next week, things take a surprising turn as Nish overhears a clandestine conversation between his ex-wife and Kathy Beale, causing him to grow suspicious of the six. As the group meet at number 41 to try to remember their statements from Christmas and ensure that they're still on the same page, he rumbles their secretive meeting. He's adamant that something is awry, but the women all insist that they have nothing to hide. However, he insists on accompanying them to the police station, where DCI Arthurs re-interviews both Nish and the six ladies on their activities around the fateful date of Keanu Taylor's death. Nish later heads back to number 41, still convinced that Suki is hiding something, and Suki reels as he confronts her about her truth. Also, last week's episode saw Alfie Moon discover that Tommy had punched Kat while he was away on a training course, but Alfie and Kat believed that they'd finally gotten through to the youngster after giving him a talking to. However, a dramatic night then saw Tommy lash out at Bert and Ernie before injuring Freddie by pouring hot soup over him. Last Wednesday, Freddie explained to Jean Slater that the incident was no accident, while Tommy threatened to call social services on his parents after claiming that they were the ones to hurt him. When Jean headed to try to talk to Tommy herself, she walked in to find him hurting the twins, but despite all evidence to the contrary, Kat continued to defend her son. Deciding to intervene, Jean then called social services herself. Returning to the drama next week, Jean is consumed with guilt for talking to the authorities, and an ill-timed comment from Kathy sees her leave the cafe and return to number 31. Then Elaine tries to probe for more gossip at the Vic, causing an outburst from Jean to accidentally offend Kojo. Harvey later tries to make things up to Jean after getting some advice for Kathy, but she instead heads back to the Vic to have dinner with Kojo as an apology, prompting Harvey to head over to see Kathy. A big new storyline gets underway next week, as Honey and Billy reveal to a shocked Martin Fowler that their beloved market is at risk of redevelopment. Later in the week, the trio call the market holders to the pub to hold a crisis meeting as they reveal the council's plans and discuss the possibility that the market and the square gardens are set to be abolished. However, the meeting soon escalates into chaos when the punters learn that Junior Knight has been given the prospective contract for the works. This week's episodes saw Avani's dad Ravi assume that Barney Mitchell was the cause of her recent injuries, which were actually caused by older teen Mason. Avani met him over a dating site. Mason has been taking advantage of Avani over the last few weeks, and Barney Mitchell was the only one who knew about it. Ravi Gulati decided to take revenge on the person he believed was responsible for attacking his daughter Avani. Ravi wrongly got revenge on Barney by taking him up to the viaduct, where he dangled him over the edge by his feet. Next week, Avani puts on a front after the events of last week, but it's clear that she's still struggling. Next Tuesday, Nish orders Suki to invite the rest of the six over to number 41, and things soon escalate as the women learn that their dark secret is no longer safe. Suki decides she's best off taking matters into her own hands, and she sends the rest of the women home as she tries to reason with her ex-husband. But it soon becomes clear that Nish won't be easily bought. What will Suki have to do to secure his silence? What does he have planned? Stacy tells Harvey to go easy on Jean after her decision on having dinner with Kojo. And as the troubled couple later reconcile at number 31, Jean makes a gesture. The following day, Kojo sees Jean as a good friend and gifts her a bunch of flowers. The distraction allows Harvey to make his excuses and visit Kathy over at number 45 once again. On Wednesday, things continue to be tense between Kat and Alfie as they cross paths at the Minute Mart, as they remain at loggerheads over Tommy. However, things soon take a positive turn as Alfie comforts Kat, and they later head to the Vic together. On Thursday, the 31st of October, the Halloween festivities begin in Walford, and trouble is evident. As Halloween arrives in Albert Square and everyone gets into the party spirit, trouble is brewing as the residents don their fancy dress outfits and head to celebrate the occasion at the Vic. Then, after Avani has some difficult questions for Nish, he summons the Six to meet him at the Vic, and they reel as they await their fate. What will happen to the Six? What will Nish Panesar do? Stay tuned, because next week's Eastenders is packed with twists and turns you won't want to miss.